So, hi guys, welcome to my Saturday's class. Should be focused more about upper body, shoulders, secondarily releasing the neck pain. You can watch me on Instagram or YouTube. Just make sure if you watch online on the Instagram, it might happen that it will shut down after 1 hour, and I usually need like a couple more minutes, but it's not worth to go there and start up again. So if you do online, I prefer you watch or train through YouTube, and it stays longer on this channel, so you can practice with me even the next days as well. So I hope you're ready. For today's class you will need one block or maybe book, and strap. I usually use the strap from my yoga mat, so you need to have the proper one, and that will be it. Something fluffy but still stable under your knee, because we will be kneeling a while. So if you have sensitive knees, you might get not very nice sensations, so be aware of your body parts. Find comfortable seated position, preferably either cross-legged or just let your knees fall freely on sides. Maybe place your right foot in front of your left foot. Sit on your both sit bones, keep your spine long, and just place your both hands on your knees and close the eyes. And as you breathe, just focus on your spine, which is getting longer with every inhale and is pulled through imaginary line through your top of your head up to the ceiling. And try to create the space between your ears and your shoulders. So make sure your spine isn't round and your shoulders don't hinge in front of your chest. Try to let your chest pop out a little, and your shoulders fall a little more away behind your chest and down away from your ears. Take a deep inhale into your lungs and feel as you create space in between every rib. And try to use full capacity of your thorax. And even longer, slower exhale following every inhale. As you exhale, feel the stress, the tension leaving your body. Last deep breath in, hold for a second. Feel as your collarbones are spreading wide and side out. Couple more. Slow breaths on your own pace. And slowly open your eyes. And try to not follow all the inputs you get through the eyes, through the nose, through the ears, and focus on today's practice. Set your intention for this practice and keep this in mind. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in, your arms are going high to the ceiling. Look up. And as you exhale, place your right hand on your right side and stretch to right side and inhale and exhale into your left side body. Don't try to go very deep. More focus on this curve on the outside of your chest and try to maybe pull a little from your holding hand away to make this curve even nicer, even bigger. As you inhale, look up to left elbow, and as you exhale, look down to your right hand. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. Inhale, look up to your left cubit and breathe out, look down. On the next inhale, catch your right elbow with your left hand. So your right hand looks on behind of your mat and your right elbow is bent as well. Take a deep breath in, chest out, and as you breathe out, just bend your neck towards your left side, towards your left shoulder, and feel the extension on the right side of your neck muscles, of your trapezius muscles, and sternocleidomastoid muscles. As you're in this position, look up as you inhale and look down as you exhale towards your left shoulder. Inhale, look up and make these small movements with your neck, and exhale, look down to your shoulder. Last time, look up and exhale, look down. Don't release the hands. Just place your head to a neutral position. Make the neck long. As you inhale, go to the right side with your head, to your right shoulder. And as you exhale, make a half circle on the lower part of the circle and look to the left shoulder. Inhale. Look to the right shoulder through the half circle. Exhale. Left. Inhale, right. Exhale. During this exercise, make sure your spine is straight as you look to the left side, to left shoulder, Pull a little more your right arm behind your body and feel the stretch on your right neck muscles and release. Take a deep breath in. Both arms go to the ceiling, look up, and as you exhale, place your left hand next to your left hip bone on your mat and exhale and long your upper body towards the left side. Look up and try to press yourself as you sit evenly on both hip bones away from the holding hand and make the curve where your ribs are on the right side of your upper body even bigger. Breathe in and out. Don't forget about the breath. As you breathe in, look up to your right elbow. As you breathe out, slowly move your head and look to your left hand. Breathe in, look up, and breathe out. Look down. Breathe in, look up, and breathe out. Look down. Breathe in, move your right arm behind your body, and again on the other side, just grab your left elbow from behind. Your left palm is facing behind your mat and just bend the left elbow, chest up, and pull a little on your left elbow to hide it a little behind your body. Breathe in, chest out, look up, and bend your head, or just move your head towards your right shoulder. Stretch your neck muscles a little more, even shoulder muscles. Try not to bend over. Sometimes we are so stiff that we even cannot move the head at all. So just be gentle. Just try to maybe elongate the spine and just go a little more to the side. And again, as you breathe in, look up towards the ceiling. As you breathe out, look down. Maybe feel that stretch even more through whole shoulder. Look up, breathe in, and look down, breathe out. Look up, breathe in, and look up, down, and breathe out. Come back to the neutral pose. Arms are still connected, and breathe in, do your half circles, look to the right shoulder, breathe out, look to the left shoulder. Breathe in, right shoulder, half circle with your head, breathe out, through half circle to left side. Last time, breathe in and breathe out. Release the both hands. Now we try to accomplish a firelock posture with our feet. So try to place left foot in 45 degrees in your left knee on the ground, and the same won't be probably 45 degrees, but something less with your right leg, and try to align right knee on your left ankle, right ankle over your left knee. If this isn't available, just use a block, blanket, whatever is handy, so you get fully assisted and you won't be at pain. You won't stay here long, just to get your hips a little more opened. So first, breathe in, try to get higher. If this is still, even with props, problem, so maybe try to get your bum higher so your knees won't suffer. So you can use a block or a blanket or a pillow to get even better angle of your hips, and your knees won't suffer that much. So just be, you know, experimentative and try to get your through your creativity to the better experience and better results. Breathe in, chest up, look up. As you breathe out, maybe just fold a little over your legs. Maybe this is easy for you, maybe you just cannot even almost sit with your straight spine. In that case, just use the props or just lean a little. And breathe out, release. As you slowly come back, again, both arms to the ceiling as you breathe in, look up, and as you side out through your mouth, just twist to the left side, place your right hand on your left knee and a left hand behind you, and complete gentle twist. Release the upper leg, stretch or straighten the leg in front of you. Your right foot is on the mat. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, just lift your both hips and extend yourself behind you to get a kind of half flip dog, or preparation to flip dog, and come back. Switch the legs, so your right leg is now on the mat, and align the left leg exact way, the same way as we had it before. Just switch legs. Might get one side is easier than the other one. Everybody has that, so don't hesitate. And just use the props as mentioned on the beginning. Chest out, look up, breathe in, and as you breathe out, just fold. Over both legs. Go slowly back. Breathe in, both arms to the ceiling, look up, and as you side out through your mouth, just turn to the right side. Left hand on your right knee, right hand behind you, and complete the gentle twist. As you breathe in, get higher, make spine even longer, make more space between your ears and shoulders. Don't try to get very deep and be folded. Maybe just more focus on the straight spine, on relaxed shoulders, and your deeper stretch will get at the time where it's supposed to go. Try not to compromise your cervical spine to get deeper twist as well. And release. Place your Left foot in front of you on the mat, right hand behind your body. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, just lift your lift your hips, and make a nice easy back bend as a flip dog variation or preparation. And release. Up over your knees into all fours. Make sure your hands are under your shoulders, so shoulder distance apart, and your knees hip distance apart. And first try to realize your space in between your scapulas, your shoulder blades. So we're not doing the regular cat-cow movements. Just try to focus on the upper body, what upper body usually does when we do the cat-cow. So if you breathe in, just try to release everything in between your shoulders. Your shoulder blades are coming closer, almost touching. Almost touching. And as you breathe out, pull yourself out of the shoulders, make a round thoracic spine, and your shoulder blades are getting away. This is called protraction. Breathe in, again, retract. So get your shoulder blades closer, almost next to each other. Try not bend the elbows. And it's not important now what you do with your belly muscles. Just focus on that space, creating more space between shoulder blades as you exhale. And now, try to make round movements. As you inhale, go like you try to make circle, which middle is your shoulders. So if you ever have to be to Riesenrad or big wheel in London wheel, you know the wheel has the legs, so your arms are legs of the wheel, and you're doing the circles around whole shoulders. So breathe in, you have the lower half of the circle. Breathe out, and on the top of the upper half circle are shoulder blades really away from each other. And breathe in again, the lower half circle. Lowest point, the shoulder blades are touching. And exhale last time. This is very complex movement, and sometimes when you do it on the beginning, on the first time, you don't really know what I'm talking about or why is it necessary. So, you know, just try to make it simple, and as you practice, as you do this movement more regularly, it will make sense to you at the time. For this practice, for today's practice, it's important you don't collapse. The same thing with it, with the shoulder blades completely close to each other. Don't collapse on the shoulder, especially when you do weight bearing exercises on your hands. It won't get nothing nice to your shoulders and to your hands as well. Place your fingers away from, like towards your knees, so your palms are still touching the mat, and try to get a little more stretch on your inner side of your forearms as you move your hips back and forth, trying to hop into the child's pose, but you cannot because you don't have that long tendons on your forearms. And turn your palms facing up, fingers showing still towards your knees. Pull yourself away from the shoulders. Don't collapse there. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, again, very nice, smooth movement with your hips back and forth. So you get a stretch on the dorsal side of your forearms. And warm up your wrists. We don't do that many things on the wrist today, but make it routine, you know. We will keep them healthy for a long time. We will need that. So there's always point to focus. And come to the tabletop position again. Control that your hands are shoulder distance apart, under shoulders, and knees are hip distance apart, under hips. Take your toes and maybe move your right knee a little closer to your midline, under your belly, and neutral spine. So now is the time to contract or activate your belly muscles. So now try to get a cow or a cat tilt. Just make a neutral tilt. Belly muscles active, pull the navel in and release or straighten your left leg behind you. Your foot is facing towards the mat. And as you get the stability, focus on your right hand. Pull yourself away from the shoulder. This will give you more stability for the next step we're doing. And release your left leg off the mat, left hand or arm off the mat, and make this enlongment. Both extremities in the air are enlongment of the spine. If this is too much balance for you or too challenging, just keep that one extremity on the mat, or maybe just keep your leg close to the mat, and if you lose the balance, try to hop in. And if you want to challenge yourself even more, try to find your left foot with your left hand and maybe stretch the left front side body to get kind of half Adra Chandrasana. And release. Both hands are on the mat. Straighten your left leg and place your left sole and foot completely to the mat. Your toes are showing to the side 90 degrees. Breathe in, and as you breathe in, look up, open up towards your left side and do kind of side plank preparation. And maybe as you breathe out, stretch your arm over your head. And slowly hover your left leg over the mat. Try to find your left big toe with your pointing and middle finger. Grab them. Maybe get that half hydrant pose. Maybe stretch the leg to the side. If this is too much, just bend the knee and slowly with the control move your left leg in front of your mat, so you get kind of low lunge. Right knee is on the mat, breathe in, or upper body is up, look up, stretch your arms, low lunge. And as you breathe out, place your right hand on the mat. Next, breathe in, easy twist towards your left leg or front leg. And try to get with every exhale deeper with your hips and closer to the mat. Breathe in and breathe out. Look behind you. And maybe grab that rear foot. Open up the chest. And don't forget to breathe. Again, focus on that right shoulder, not collapsing on the shoulder, pulling yourself out. Make a spine long. Maybe pull that rear leg closer to your butt to stretch that quad. And release. Slowly come back with your right leg to kind of kneeled high plank, and as you breathe out, core active, bend the elbows and come closer with your chest and chin towards the mat. And as you breathe in, roll up into small cobra, shoulders away from the ears, chest out, elbows close to the body, active legs and active feet. And as you breathe out, over child's pose. Just keep your toes tucked in and rest in child's pose for a second. Your fingers are just touching the mat, so let your palms be in the air. And try to press a little towards the mat, so you feel that tension in the shoulders and completely release. As you breathe in, come back to all fours. We do the same round on the right side. So first, active belly, neutral spine. Pull yourself out of the shoulders. This will give you more stability. Left knee is a little closer towards the middle line of the mat, and release your right straighten leg into the air, and the same your right arm. When you're ready, try to square your hips as much as possible. I know it's not easy. No one says for nobody, but try to do your best. And maybe look for that right foot with your right hand. And as you breathe in, get your both extremities even higher. Pull yourself out of the left shoulder. Make really big, long posture. Almost like you grew up 10 centimeters in 1 second. This makes you feel very good. Belly active. Chest is out. And strong base with your left hand as well your left toes and the knee. Release, tabletop again, and straighten your right leg. Toes are touching. Twist, open up the hip, and foot shows 90 degrees to the outside. Breathe in, open up to your right side body, look up, right arm up, and maybe stretch over your head. And as you trying to get the balance again, try to hover your right foot or right leg in the air. Grab your right toe with the pointing and middle finger and stretch. I'm gonna show it from the, as it's supposed to look like. Stretch to the side. If this isn't available, just let the bent knee and work that left glute, which is completely awake now, and slowly move the leg towards the front of your mat. As you get there, maybe adjust in the low lunge. Breathe in, upper body up, look up, straighten your arms, and as you breathe out, place your left hand next to your right foot. Next inhale, open up towards your right side body. And on the exhale, lengthen, make the space between both sides of your neck muscles, so not collapse. Make the neck long. If you feel that left shoulder already, that's good. We'll thank you later. And try to get that rear foot. Look up, make a spine long, and press yourself out of the left shoulder. Maybe pull the rear foot towards your buttock. Get every time, with every exhale, deeper with your hips. And slowly release. Place your both hands on the mat and your front foot next to the rear foot into high plank. Hold for a second, knee chest kin, or if you fancy chaturanga on the exhale, and then small cobra or upward facing dog with chest out. Shoulders are getting away from the ears, elbows are getting closer to your body. Active fingers look up, and place yourself on the exhale into child's pose. And place your elbows approximately shoulder distance away from each other, and your hands are in prayer position. And as you lift a little hips into the air, it doesn't need to be full puppy pose, just a little to get a stretch in your triceps, in your shoulders, with constantly pressing your palms against each other, and make this stretch or strengthening your choice. Either you get deeper in the shoulders, or just create tension in the shoulders. It's like you cannot get deeper with your chest, and make your upper chest, upper thoracic even stiffer. So this will get you more strength in the shoulder area. So make your choice. Maybe just relax and slowly release. As you come back into all fours, tuck your toes, hands shoulder distance apart, knees and feet hip distance apart, belly active. Breathe in, lift your knees off the ground and place your heels as you lift your hips into downward dog. Downward facing dog, the first dog of today's practice. So you might get different feeling in shoulder area, in the neck area after all these exercises we did already. In like comparing to regular dogs you do when you do your first dog on the beginning of the practice. So make sure your arms are hugging in, so elbows are getting in, and you're pressing yourself out of the shoulders, so the shoulders are getting closer to your ears. This is different cueing as you are maybe used to. This makes your upper body, your trapezius and your upper thoracic muscles even stronger. Very firm locks on your hands and on your feet. Padahasta. Badhas are strong, and it's not necessary to place your feet completely to the ground or stretch your knees. So keep your knees bent, your heels can be lifted. Important is that you get nice straight spine and your lower spine, lower lumbar spine, get maybe a little cow tilt. So get that nice lumbar curve in the lower body to get your hips and your tailbone even higher. And then if you still feel okay and comfortable, place your feet on the ground and keep the micro bend in the knees. Lift on the inhale your right leg into three-legged dog. Hips are still aligned with the mat, so squared. And on the exhale, place your right foot in between your both hands. Your left knee is on the mat. In this point, keep your left knee on something softer because we're gonna do a lift or our rear foot. So this might get not nice sensation in your knee. If you need a strap, actually I would advise everybody who doesn't do like full grip on the regular basis to get a strap or to get a blanket, but it's easier with a loop, so get one loop on the strap. And first try to get on the upper side of your patella, of your kneecap. That will be more nicer sensation of your knee. Get with the hips higher. Just hold yourself with your right hand, right forearm on your right thigh. Chest out. I know. And start to slowly flip the grip, so you twist or turn your arm using the strap This is not the actually this is way too full grip, but today it's not necessary to grab the foot. We just want to get a nice stretch of the shoulder, so you are able to do the full grip without any concern and without need to open the front side body that much as you would do that without the grip. So just on the inhale, look up, chest out, and try to grab the strap with both hands and maybe a little pull with your leg and play with both parts of the strap and slowly release. As you come with your hips higher, back closer to your rear foot, release the strap and straighten the front leg into half split and keep your spine straight. So it's not important to grab or to touch the mat and be very, very bent in your spine, but maybe help yourself by resting your hands on the thigh. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, come closer with your belly to the front thigh. And on the next inhale, come back to the low lunge. Both hands to the mat next to the right foot. And on the exhale, place your right leg behind you into the air. Lean forward and do the small chaturanga, one-legged chaturanga on the left knee. So the right leg comes quite high. And as you inhale, turn to the small cobra, chest up, elbows close to the body, look up, and exhale through the child's pose into downward facing dog. Check on your feet and hands. Right foot closer to the midline, left leg lifts, three-legged dog, squared hips, and pull yourself out of the shoulders. Arms are hugging in and fingers are spread. As you exhale, come slowly with a bent knee in front of the mat, in between your hands, and place your right knee into the mat. We already know what we do, so first come deeper in your hips and try to get on the upper part of your kneecap as you bend the knee. Maybe just stay here. If this is enough, try to stretch your shoulder or place the strap on your foot and use the whole length of the strap to flip the grip and grip both of the strap with both hands, chest out, look up, and play with the strap a little, so you get kind of boat floating on the water, and try to not compromise your cervical spine, so you don't need to bend that many behind. Just look up and slowly release. Release the strap, straighten the front leg and the same half split. Place your hands either on the mat or rest them on your thigh. Look up, breathe into long spine and breathe out. Get your belly first closer to your thigh. We don't want to get our forehead on our knee. This isn't the goal. We want to get our spine close, straight, and shoulders away from the ears. As you release, come back with your hands and move your left leg again behind you into three-legged tabletop. Lean forward and bend the elbows to your half chaturanga. Your left leg goes high to the air, and as you inhale, place both legs chest up, look up, small cobra, and back to downward facing dog. Breathe in again, three-legged dog. Bend the knee. This time open up the hip towards the right side. And slowly, as you exhale, place your upper foot behind you into wild thing or flip dog, as you fancy. It doesn't need to be big back bend because we didn't do back bends that much. Right, this is enough that you maybe just hold your hips high and stay straight in your upper body. If you fancy a proper wild thing, just do that. And slowly come back over side plank into three-legged chaturanga and place your right foot in between your hands. Grab the block first and place the block in front of you so you have it handy, or a book. And as you breathe in, just straighten your arms like long behind your body and hold. Shoulders are away from the ears. Make a spine long. And your neck is enlongment of the thoracic spine. This practice isn't very full of movements. It's consisted of long holds. This is sometimes very, very tired, but you will get where you need to go. As you breathe in, grab the block and do the movement in your high lunge on the other side. So keep your block like enlongment of your spine and of your foot. Ground the left foot and slowly use the momentum as you come into one-legged stand. This will give you a nice release in your right buttock. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, bend the elbows. Really hold the block and squeeze the block with your hands. Hold your elbows close to your ears and try to get active dancer. I promise it won't get any more difficult anymore. Hold and slowly go over with the upper body, bend to the front into warrior 3. Hips are squared, blocks is in front of your chest or as enlongment if you still don't have enough, and slowly release the block down and release your front foot next to your left, chaturanga, and we're going straight into downward facing dog. Three-legged dog with your left foot. Bend the knee and open up the hip. Your shoulders are squared. Your hips are open to the left side. Maybe just let the upper leg behind you and do the wall thing or flip dog or just something like a elongment. Depends what you fancy, and slowly come through side plank into three-legged plank, and place your left foot in between your hands. As you inhale, lift your upper body into 45 degrees high lunge, and your arms are away like elongment of your cervical spine next to your body. Palms are facing down, and cervical spine is again enlongment of your thoracic. Breathe in and out and create space between your ears and shoulders. As you inhale, come closer to the block and elevate your arms 45 degrees like enlongment of your spine on the other direction as they were before. Hold, front knee is bent. If this is too much, just stretch the knee. Find your variation. Use the momentum and get into one-legged stand. Prepare to your active dancer and bend the elbows. Really squeeze the block. Elbows close behind your body, and as you inhale to your active dancer, look up, chest out. Feel like you almost grab the foot. This is very funny because it's always very far away, but just use your imagination. You'll get there eventually. And fold your whole body, the elbows and the knees together. Prepare to your last warrior 3. As you straighten your right foot behind you and either hold the block in front of your chest and squeeze the block, we're still active here, or just make your arms longer and just melt in that posture. Slowly release the block and the foot to get into chaturanga. Hold, last hold in the high plank, then the chaturanga, and release. Again, breathe in, small cobra, breathe out, child's pose, and downward facing dog. Now just move as you exhale with your right knee bent under your chest and release into pigeon's pose. So use the block eventually if you need that to just assist your buttock to get deep, and try to square your hips. Your rear foot is not open to the side, but the toes are looking to the ground. As you exhale, release your upper body. Breathe in and out. And try to catch your breath. Inhale, come up, and as you place your rear leg over your right leg, try to get to Gomukhasana, to cow face legs. If this is too much, just use some variation. So maybe place your leg like this, or use the block under your buttock so you get higher. But if possible, try to stack your knees almost over. And now, if you have your strap handy or you're able to do Gomukhasana arms, just take your right arm over your head and place your hand between your shoulder blades and try to catch your left hand where the palm is facing up, facing to the back of the mat. If you aren't able to catch your arms, just use the strap. So both variations are possible. If you don't have any of it, just use the active stretch. Try to get your fingers closer. Breathe in, look up, chest out, and breathe out. Fold over your legs. Try not to get your cervical spine compromised from upper arm. So rather not do the very deep stretch than look into the ground like this. So your shoulder isn't opened enough for this pose and you're just pushing your head closer to your sternum, to your chest bone. This isn't very good for the cervical spine. So keep it long or fold. And as you release both hands, just lean behind on the mat with your upper body and come with your fingers facing away from you and your palms so close as possible to each other, and your shoulders are not rounding inside but to the outside, so your chest pops out. You're automatically looking up. Engage your belly muscles, so you're not looking your, like pushing your belly out, but you're getting closer pelvic tilt inside, and release your legs up and maybe try to lean even deeper. Legs are in kind of boat variation. As you're looking up, release the legs and get even deeper with your arms, and now try to release your chest completely inwards. And slowly release. And as you were in the pigeon pose with your right leg in front, do the same thing on the other side. So left leg is in front in pigeon pose, right leg is straight and behind our body. Look up, chest out, foot is showing to the mat, rear foot, so the hips are more or less squared. And as you breathe out, fold over your right leg, release all tension. And breathe in and out. Prepare for shutting down. So try to decrease your breath. And as you breathe in, come again up and place your rear leg over your left leg into Gomukhasana, legs, and again the other arm is going behind our back, in between shoulder blades. Try not to be compromised with your elbow, so go just that deep where your spine can stay long, and try to catch that hand or use the strap, or just do the active stretch and try to get to the fingers of the opposite leg, opposite arm. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, fold over your front, over your legs with your front body. And still have your space in between your mastoids, which are behind your ears, and your shoulders. So even in these postures, try to release the shoulders. And come up, release. Last time, this time just a regular boat pose. Straight spine, cervical spine enlongment of the thoracic. So look up, maybe release the hands, shoulders away from the ears, and slowly move into your back. As you move to the right side of the body and place your arm under you with your inner part of the arm, so palm is facing the mat behind your body. So I'll show you from the front. Place your hand like this, palm is touching the mat, and roll towards your arm. This is a half auspicious pose, very nice shoulder stretch. If this is too much, just try to press yourself a little more with your right hand towards your stretching shoulder. If you're able to do more twist in your spine, so maybe you can place even the feet on your mat, do so. Just try to be mindful to your body. Never do anything you see on the picture unless your body calls for it and is even ready for that. If you want, you can deepen the stretch to try to grab that arm with your right arm and release, and do the same thing on the other side. So right arm with a palm facing towards the mat, and fold your upper body and the rest body towards your stretching shoulder, which is on the floor. Maybe look up, maybe press yourself with the left hand, or just place your other arm closer towards the stretching arm. And slowly release. Now this is the time when we get into our final pose, Shavasana. So find your comfortable lying posture. Your palms are facing up, arms are next to the upper body. Keep your shoulders with your shoulder blades a little more away from a head, and let your feet falling apart. If you have sensitive SI joints, this might not be your comfortable pose, so this pain won't get away. Otherwise you get a little more active belly or something which keeps your lower back relaxed and at ease on the mat. So maybe just fold the knees a little, bend the knees, and fold some blankets under the knees, so you can enjoy the resting pose. Close your eyes and focus on your breath, which is even more steady. And feel that energy. We harvest it during this practice. Keep it for later. Feel that warmth in shoulder parts and upper arms. I hope you even got a little more neck release, and you feel stronger, especially when you do practice like this more often. So keep that exhales longer than the inhales. Do not try to force the breath anymore. The breath is calm, steady. And release everything, all muscles. Make sure you don't have any grimaces on your face. Release your forehead and your chewing muscles. And make space behind your teeth on the right and left side, so you can really relax even upper neck muscles. Feel free to rest in this pose as long as you fancy. I thank you for today's practice, and I hope we will meet on the mat somehow soon. I wish you a pleasant rest of the day, and keep your peace in mind, in your speech, and in your heart. Namaste.